This is Stephen Michael. Well, technically this is a mural of Stephen Michael. It's in Stairwell H, tucked behind a corner. You might have walked past it before, but you probably didn't notice. Since freshman year, this mural has intrigued me. Sure, this is Stephen Michael, but who is Stephen Michael?
I'm gonna assume that he's someone who went to North, maybe. That must have made a pretty big impact because he has a mural. Is he dead?
I have heard many rumors about Stephen Michael. I think the first one was it was a drug overdose, I think it was.
Originally, I thought it was just a mural of a random guy, and I thought it was kind of funny. And then, I don't remember who, but someone told me it was like this memoriam to some guy who died.
That, or that it was a suicide. I heard the one that it was a suicide.
I sort of hate it, but also love it because it's super creepy, but I've also stared deep into its eyes while trying to practice for an audition, so we've connected.
I don't like how it's so hidden from all the other ones in the school. It's kind of freaky. I don't know, just the way it stares at you.
It's like the smile. I think the way the teeth and just the eyes are super wide. I feel like he probably comes off super creepy, and I feel bad for him because he's probably just a regular dude.
I was left with more questions than answers. It seemed there were a million rumors about Stephen Michael, conflicting and pulling in opposite directions and dragging me down into a spiral of loose ends. I needed something concrete. I visited the art room to talk to art teacher Shannon Slarity and find out what she knew about the murals.
The students choose a piece of artwork, something that they've done themselves. I mean, these are students who've been in the art program usually at least 3 years, if not 4, at the major level, and they spend a lot of time and effort honing their craft, and this is an opportunity for them to kind of leave their mark.
According to Slattery, the artist of the Stephen Michael mural, and Evan Harris, knew exactly what kind of mark he wanted to leave.
Stephen Michael's an actual person, a student who went here, just your normal, everyday Newton North kid, which was the point of the mural. The artist wanted to do a portrait of every man. So when we brought that to administration, they were kind of like, well, why? Why are we putting a portrait of a student on the wall? They had some problems with it. I think they thought maybe it was too personal because it was an actual person. But the artist wrote a very nice, a kind of one-page essay describing this concept of a mural that represented every man. And administration read it and said, okay.
I realized my question had started to change. Instead of who is Stephen Michael, I started to ask, why Stephen Michael? How does a regular student become a mural, and how does that mural become a suburban legend? How does Stephen Michael feel about all this? And yeah, we know he was a student, but I really felt I wasn't done with that first question. Because, for real, who is Stephen Michael? What followed were weeks of investigative journalism, which is a nice way of saying professional stalking. I talked to students, to teachers, to the main office.
He's a real person. He lived. Class of 2012. He ran track. He went to Brown.
I actually didn't know Stephen Michael at all.
I checked his Facebook, I checked yearbooks, I checked Newtonite articles he'd written while he was here. There were small leads.
He's gonna be at Boston Calling.
There were chance encounters.
Just a couple days ago at the Y, it's this guy I've seen. He looks kind of like Stephen Michael.
But at the end, I had nothing. Until I did. I realized that Stephen Michael and I had a mutual friend on Facebook, an Aaron Schwartz. I messaged Aaron and found out that he and Stephen Michael were family friends. He gave me Stephen Michael's contact info, and after many emails...
Are you?
Are you here?
Yeah, hi.
Sorry for taking a while to get in touch with you.
It's okay.
This is Stephen Michael. The real Stephen Michael. Shortly after capturing what you see here on film, we were kicked out of the building.
Oh, we can't? No.
But, determined to make this work no matter what, we headed outside. I asked Stephen Michael to tell me everything. Everything.
As I recall, Evan was a friend, we both ran cross-country and track, and he was an art major. Thought it would be funny to do a mural of someone's face on the wall. And since we were friends, I think I suggested my face, or maybe he thought it would be funny to do.
I talked to Miss Slattery, the art teacher.
Yeah.
Evan told her that he wanted to portray an everyman. Do you see yourself as an everyman?
In one sense, it is an everyman, but at the same time, it's clearly not, because an everyman wouldn't have a name, so anyone could put their name themselves in that person's shoes or in that image. It's about identity, the idea of the ephemerality of identity. Also thinking of a place like Newton North, where we spend 4 years here, that a lot of people come and go, and we all think about how we make our impact or imprint on the school.
What do you imagine people think Stephen Michael is?
I really don't know. I really wonder. I'm curious what reaction you got, actually.
I can show
Do
you.
want to segue
I can
into
show
that?
you some of those reactions. Yeah.
He's a real person. I'm trying to figure out what people think about him because I've heard all these wacky myths about him. Class of 2012, he ran track. He went to Brown. He graduated 2016. He's in Providence, Rhode Island. He doesn't respond onto Facebook messages. He is
The reaction.
You did your research.
You can't say that that's not a creepy mural. Is he dead?
You think he's dead?
Someone told me it was like this memoriam to some guy who died.
It was a drug overdose, I think it was. That it was a suicide.
Seems like the common opinion is that I died.
Stephen Michael's a man of mystery, but I think he's also, I bet Stephen Michael's pretty great. He probably comes off super creepy, and I feel bad for him because he's probably just a regular dude.
I think it's understandable. I'm not surprised that people thought it was dead, since they often have a lot of memorials for people. They don't generally have portraits of people who are alive and pretty normal. But I'm not bothered at all. I thought people would look at it occasionally, and that at some point people would wonder. I think you can get carried away talking about how it's about identity, but I think it's also more than just like, oh, that'd be funny to do a picture of my face on the wall.
As we continued talking, the conversation turned from his mural to my video.
It's about like how you perpetuate a myth.
Yeah.
I don't know what theme you're going for. Like the idea of like you could be like waiting for Godot, trying to find the unattainable, and then versus like you find the person. It's like, oh, the man behind the curtain. It's not a mythic person. I was wondering if it would deconstruct your myth or the mystique if I showed my face. Would you have been a better movie if like I never showed up? Like I refused to meet you. Like you would only get like a grainy like cell phone conversation. Or like I insisted on meeting like in a parking garage at like midnight.
But Stephen Michael did talk to us, and it wasn't in a parking garage. As we wrapped up the conversation, I asked him about his thoughts on the murals around the school.
I think they can also serve a purpose as a way for self-expression, as another way to leave your mark on the high school, literally.
Do you think the murals are supposed to grab attention or supposed to sort of be there as background?
I think they're supposed to be. I think in some ways they're both.
Yeah.
If you walk by the same mural 100 times on your way to class, you probably don't notice it as much.
Yeah.
The first time you see it, you probably look at it and you think about it.
I think the beauty of the Stephen Michael mural is that what Stephen describes the mural as, it describes students as. It depicts the people that you walk past every day, not taking notice of, and shows you that in each person, and in each mural alike, there is a story. These stories line the walls of Newton North, and to find them, all you have to do is take a closer look, and occasionally stalk someone on Facebook. For Newton North TV, I'm Ian Reed, and this is...
My name is Stephen Michael.
Stephen Michael.